Hi, and in this video I'll show you how to design a part like this in Onshape. Using this simple example, I'll show you a few things that can be useful for beginners who are learning 3D modeling in 3D CAD systems. Onshape is a 3D CAD system that works entirely in a web browser. We don't have to install anything on the computer, we just log in through a web browser and we can start creating our own 3D models. What's more, we can also run Onshape on tablets. Onshape has a functional free plan. We can use Onshape for free for non-commercial projects, and here I'll immediately mention a certain limitation of this plan. If you create projects in the free version of Onshape, those projects are publicly available. However, if you are creating projects for yourself for non-commercial use, for example, you have a 3D printer or a small workshop and you make some parts for yourself, then I think this shouldn't be a big problem, especially since finding that part in the public resources isn't convenient and isn't easy, so I think for hobbyists it shouldn't be a major obstacle. And now I'll move on to a new project and show you how to design a part like this in Onshape. I'm creating a new document here. And here we start by creating a sketch on the top plane. I select this plane, I click on this plane with the left mouse button and I choose the sketch command. Now I press the N key to switch to the top view of the sketch plane and I click the eye icon next to the front plane and next to the right plane to turn off the visibility of those planes. And here we will create a polygon. We choose the polygon drawing command and we place the center of the polygon at the origin point of the coordinate system. I hover over this point. When this point is highlighted, a constraint symbol appears here, which means the center of the polygon will be placed automatically at this point. I click the left mouse button and now I'd like to place a vertex of the polygon on the x-axis. That is, I want the vertex of the polygon to lie on the same horizontal line as the origin point of the coordinate system. And here, as you can see, an orange dashed line appears. This is construction geometry, and here a constraint symbol also appears, which indicates that this point will lie on the same horizontal line as the origin point of the coordinate system. When this line is active, when the constraint symbol is next to the cursor, we click the left mouse button, and here I move the cursor left and right to define the number of vertices. We can try to hit 8 and we click the left mouse button to confirm it, but we can change it at any time. Now we will define the diameter of the circle. Type 70 here and press enter. OK. And the polygon drawing command is still active, so I click here again to cancel this command, or we can press the escape key. And if you'd like to change the number of sides of the polygon at this point, we simply double click here with the left mouse button, enter a new value, and the number of sides of the polygon is changed. I'll go back here to the value 8, I double click with the left mouse button, press 8 on the keyboard, press enter, and we have a polygon created. And OK, now I'll create more polygons. I choose the polygon drawing command, and now I'll do it in such a way that I place the first point of the polygon at a vertex of this point. When this point is highlighted, I click here with the left mouse button and I place the second point of the polygon at this vertex of the previous polygon. Here, as you can see, we have snapping to points, automatic constraints appear, and this constraint symbol defines a coincident relation. That is, if I click here, these 2 points will lie at the same place. They will be linked. And OK, here I need to define the number of sides of the polygon. When an 8 appears, I click the left mouse button And here I don't change anything. The polygon drawing command is still active, so I draw another polygon. I place the center of the next polygon here, and I place the vertex of the polygon here. And as the number of sides I leave 8, I click the left mouse button and we have a sketch created. I press the escape key to cancel the polygon drawing command, and this sketch is finished, and based on this one sketch we will build the entire solid. We will create 3 extrude operations here so that we create an extrusion at 3 levels, but we will do it all based on one sketch. And in Onshape we can do it exactly in this way. Based on one sketch we create several stages of the solid, but we can also do it in separate stages. We can create separate sketches for each stage. Here in this example I choose this approach where we create the entire model based on one sketch. I accept this sketch and now I press the right mouse button to rotate the view. When it comes to zooming in and out, we do that by rotating the mouse wheel, and when you press the mouse wheel, we can pan the view. Okay, and now, like this, we will create 3 extrude operations here, and we will create the first part of the solid based on these 3 areas. Just click these areas with the left mouse button to select them and choose the extrude operation. This is the basic operation for creating 3D solids in 3D CAD systems. We choose this operation and here we define the height of the solid that will be created based on these sketches. Type 70 here, press enter. The preview has updated and we press enter one more time to confirm this operation. And here, as you can see, after performing this operation, the sketch disappeared. We don't have this sketch, but the fact that the sketch is invisible doesn't mean that the sketch is not in the project. That sketch is still in the project. We have the feature tree here, and here all the features appear that we use to create this 3D solid. And this is exactly a feature of parametric 3D CAD systems. All the steps of creating the 3D solid are recorded, and at any stage of creating the 3D solid, we can go back to previous stages and we can make changes there. For now, at this moment, we will focus on the fact that all these features we create are in the project, and despite the fact that even when they are invisible in the workspace, they don't disappear. They are still in the project. And in this case, this sketch is simply invisible. We click the eye icon here to turn on the sketch visibility, and now we have the sketch visible in the workspace and we can use this sketch for the next operation. And we will perform the next operation based on these 3 areas. Select these 3 areas and choose the extrude operation. Here we will create a solid to a height of 40. Press enter and enter again to confirm it. And we create another operation, this time based on this area. We select this area, we choose the extrude operation, and here we create an extrusion to 20 and we press enter. Press enter once again to confirm it. I turn off the sketch visibility and we have a solid like this. Now we will create pockets in this solid so that we turn this solid into a container, and we will do that on 3 separate sketches. First, we will create a sketch on this face. Select this face and choose to create a sketch. Now this face is the sketch plane. I right click and choose view normal to sketch plane to set the view looking straight at the sketch plane. And here I'd like to create a sketch that will be offset by 3 from the edge of this solid. And of course we could draw a polygon here, but in this case we will use the offset operation. Choose this operation and click on the face of this solid. And here we drag this arrow inward. We click the left mouse button and we define the offset value. Type 3 here and press enter. And we have a sketch created. we confirm the sketch, and now based on this area we will create a pocket in the solid. And when it comes to creating pockets in a solid, that is removing material based on a sketch, we also do that using the extrude operation. Choose this operation. And here by default another part of the solid will be created because we have the add operation type selected here. But if we switch to the remove operation type, material will be removed from the solid. And here we define the depth of the pocket, type 67 here, press enter and enter again to confirm it. And I entered 67 because the height of this part of the solid is 70 and I want the thickness of the bottom wall to be 3. So I simply entered the appropriate pocket depth value here. Now we will create another sketch. We will create the next sketch on this face. Select this face and choose to create a sketch. I press the N key to switch to the top view of the sketch plane. I choose the offset command and just like before I select this face. Here the offset was applied toward the inside of this face. I click the left mouse button and type 3 and press enter. And now if we leave the sketch like this, then when we create a pocket in this solid, here I still haven't selected the area based on which we will create this pocket. Okay, then this pocket will be made in such a way that there will be a step here. I'll create this pocket at this stage and later we will modify the sketch. Here as the pocket type I choose up to face. And now I can define the pocket depth in such a way that I select a face on the model up to which this pocket should be created. Here I no longer have to enter a specific value, I just create a pocket whose bottom will be at the height of this face. I accept this operation and this is what it looks like. We have a step here. If you want to leave it this way, you can leave it like this, but we can also edit it so that this step isn't here. To do that, I go into sketch editing. I right click here and choose edit. I press the N key to switch to the top view of the sketch plane, and now I'll delete a fragment of the sketch. I select this line and I press delete to remove this geometry. And here we also lost the relation between the edges of the solid. So in this case, it will be better to do it in such a way that I'll delete all the geometry. Okay, and I choose the offset operation once again, and I select the edges one by one based on which we will create part of the sketch. Here I drag the arrow inward, I click the left mouse button and type 3. I press enter and here the sketch is black, so everything is good. And we will also do it like this. I select this point, I select this line and I choose the coincident constraint so that this point lies on this line, and I'll do the same on the other side. I'll select this point, I select this line and I choose the coincident constraint. And okay, we have a sketch like this, and here we no longer have to draw additional geometry because we can select this area as the area based on which we will make a pocket. I accept this operation, and here as you can see an error appeared in this operation. This error appeared because we deleted the sketch based on which this operation was performed, but we can fix it easily. I double click here with the left mouse button. Here I remove this feature based on which we created this pocket. And I simply select this area so that the pocket is made based on this area. I accept it, and here we don't have to change any parameters anymore. We simply have a pocket made to the depth that is the same as in the case of this pocket. And okay, we will move on to the next sketch. I select this face, I choose to create a sketch. I right click, I choose view normal to sketch plane. and here I'll do it in such a way that first I create an offset of the selected edges. I won't create an offset based on all the edges of this face. I click with the left mouse button, type 3, press enter, and here like this I select this point, I select this line, and I choose the coincident constraint. Here I select this point, I select this line, and I choose the coincident constraint. I close the sketch, I rotate the view, I select the area based on which I want to make a pocket, I choose the extrude operation. Here I switch to the remove mode so that I make a pocket, and here as the pocket type I choose up to face, and I select for example this face as the reference face up to which the pocket depth will be defined. I accept it, and in this way we created a solid like this. Of course, you also have to consider that explaining how to do something and making such a solid yourself when you already know the basics of 3D modeling are two different things. And now I'll quickly show you how to prepare a file for a 3D printer based on this solid. Right click here on Part Studio or simply here in the list of solids. Right click on this solid and choose Export. And you can save this file in the step format. Many slicers support this format, and based on this format you can prepare a file for a 3D printer, but you can also choose for example the STL format, and you can also save a file in this format. Here you specify the file name. If you have the download option selected here, then after clicking the export button, the file will be exported and downloaded to the computer's disk. And based on a file like this, you'll be able to prepare a program for a 3D printer, or you'll be able to send this file to someone else, because STEP is a universal data exchange format between CAD/CAM systems, and many programs support this format, so we can also use this format for cooperation with other people. And we will end this video here. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to this channel.